Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, and hail to you. Welcome back to another episode of the Havamal In Depth, where we explore the ancient wisdom of the Havamal and its relevance to modern life. I'm Christian, the Stoic Lokian, and today, due to their overwhelming similarities, we're diving into stanzas 11 and 12, which offer rather intriguing insights from both Old Norse and Stoic perspectives. So stanzas 11 and 12 then, I'll jump straight in. A worse provision on the way he cannot carry than too much beer-bibbing. So good is not, as it is said, beer for the sons of men. And stanza 12, a worse provision no man can take from the table than too much beer-bibbing. For the more he drinks, the less control he has of his own mind. Now, initially, the Norse/heathen interpretation of it is really blindingly obvious. Don't drink too much. And in both Old Norse culture and even modern day heathen culture, communal gatherings often include the sharing of beer, mead, rum, whiskey, if you may, and several other alcoholic beverages. Yet these stanzas 11 and 12 are actually warning against excessive drinking. They caution that too much alcohol can become a burden on one's journey and cloud one's judgement. I'm sure we can all think of examples where we've drank a bit too much, woke up in the morning, completely forgot what's happened, maybe even made an arse of ourselves. When I drink a bit too much, Loki tends to invite himself in, cause a bit of chaos. Fortunately, it's good fun chaos. Nothing serious has ever come from it. But still, from like the Old Norse viewpoint, I'd say these stanzas also underscore the significance of moderation. During moments of social pleasure, absolutely, but also just in general life. It's never too good to overindulge on anything. Everything in moderation, as the saying goes. The stanzas also remind us that while camaraderie over a drink is cherished, overindulgence can lead to that loss of self-control. And when you read through some of the old sagas, there are several stories that illustrate the consequences of excessive drinking. For example, you'll have to forgive my pronunciation on this, I'm probably going to bastardize it. Gunnlaugr Ormstunga. And in the saga that Gunnlaugr writes, 25 sagas actually, all in all, Gunnlaugr, who is a very talented poet, and his rival Hrafn, again, forgive my pronunciation on that one, engage in a deadly feud, and that's fueled by their excessive pride and drinking. So again, two things in excess that ultimately, and because of their inability to control their desires for both meed and glory, ultimately leads to tragic consequences in the death of Gunnlaugr and then in Hrafn not too far after. I forget the name of the bride. I want to say Helga, I think it was, that they were chasing the attentions of, and she ends up marrying somebody completely different, and so neither of them get what they want, and both of them end up dead, all through excess. So it's a really stark warning, and some real stark consequences. The saga, the stanza serves as a cautionary tale highlighting how excessive drinking combined with unchecked ego can result in dire outcomes. It emphasises the importance of moderation, not only in alcohol consumption, but also in one's behaviour and ambitions. From a Stoic standpoint, these stanzas place a strong emphasis on self-control and rationality, and actually temperance, self-control and balance is one of the four central pillars of Stoicism. The idea that excessive drinking can impair one's judgement absolutely resonates through Stoic principles. The Stoics believe that clear thinking is essential for wise decision making. Now, am I saying don't go out there and get shit-faced every once in a while? No, absolutely not. Sometimes we need it. Sometimes it's a release. Just everything in moderation, I guess, is the thing to draw from this. The Stoics see moderation as a path to tranquillity and wisdom. When one overindulges in any pleasure, be it alcohol, food, or other desires, they risk losing control of their rational faculties. The more you drink, the less able you are to make decisions aligned with your true values and principles, for example. I think it was Seneca who once said, there is no more stupefying thing than drink, and it has made itself master of the minds of men and bent them to its will, if I've read that and noted that down correctly. And again, this aligns perfectly with the warning in these stanzas against excessive beer-bibbing. Something to be mindful of and something to be cautious of. So, how do these ancient warnings about excessive drinking apply to our modern lives? Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious, really, to start with, but they hold timeless lessons. In a world filled with temptations and distractions, moderation remains key. We live in an age of abundance and instant gratification. The allure of excess is everywhere, whether it's in the form of alcohol, food, technology, Black Friday's coming up, or other indulgences. It's really easy to get carried away. It's really easy to lose control of our desires and to make impulsive decisions that we later regret. So the next time you're thinking about making that impulsive decision that you may come to regret, consider Gunnlaugr and how he and Hrafn both ended up dead through their excesses. So the caution against losing control of one's mind due to overindulgence is as relevant today as it was in ancient times. It reminds us to be mindful of our choices, particularly when engaging in pleasures that can impair our judgment. Whether it's alcohol, food, or any other indulgence, remember the wisdom of moderation. It's about savouring life's pleasures without relinquishing control over your own mind. In our journey through life, this age-old advice remains as pertinent as ever. So that's stanzas 11 and 12. Thank you again, and hail to you for joining us on another episode of Havamal In Depth, where we bridge the past's wisdom with the challenges of today. Before I sign off, I will do as I always do, read the stanzas back to you again. So stanzas 11 and 12. Stanza 11. A worse provision on the way he cannot carry than too much beer-bibbing. So good is not, as it is said, beer for the sons of men. And stanza 12. A worse provision no man can take from the table than too much beer-bibbing. For the more he drinks, the less control he has of his own mind. Thank you for joining me. Hail to you. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Be eternally grateful, and see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.